it is, everyone.
I'm here.
Okay. I hear an Indian.
Yeah, he's running around down there.
Okay.
Ow.
Alright, I'm going to listen to the levels.
Torches. I need light sticks.
There you go, man.
Yeah.
Light sticks. I split my stack in half, so I'm kind of running low too.
Well, I just needed enough so that way we can now proceed to get back to the surface.
Oh, we're going on the surface? Okay.
I need to empty
All right, where's
and
the lava?
resupply. Oh, I forgot that's the way that you go back nowadays.
Well, we keep all of our inventory.
This is a true statement. I see lava. To doom!
Ah! Hold on,
Oh,
I
I should
gotta
have taken my armor off. I did
kill the
not.
skeleton. Eric.
Okay, I'm listening to myself real quick. Just listening to myself, you guys sound great.
Dewey, are you sure?
Alright, I think we're good to go.
Yahoo! So, you guys, Gamescom is going right now.
Right now.
And it's kind of an under the radar Gamescom. What with the global pandemic and all that, it didn't seem like they really approached this year with any sort of plan. It's kind of weird. But we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about other games that we saw trailers for in Gamescom 2020 here on our podcast. I'm Scorch. Best Empires is here as our resident listmaster, and Arcadius Zero is here for his glittering commentary and dashing good looks. Shall we
Yes,
start?
what?
What do we want to start with, you guys?
Let's do the new Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's start with one of the ones that made me most excited, which was the new Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. They had more gameplay than from the PlayStation trailer. It was in the same area, but it felt like it was a little bit more gameplay.
Yeah, I'm really happy about their showing, and I am kind of quizzical about how they pulled off that whole rift tear pull into where you are now kind of thing that they did.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure how they did that on a technical scale, but I was more interested in the fact that the game looked gorgeous, and it's probably going to be a beautiful, wonderful, happy bullet hell towards the end of the game.
I was actually surprised at how crisp it looked as well, actually, because I was expecting to have, your basic modeled shapes, and then they skin some graphic onto it, but it was literally every object had its own graphical skin and not just an overlay, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Or I should say it had its own depth perception, and the texture physically matched the visual texture on the modeling. And it was rich and vibrant, which helped blend it all together. So if your eye tried to focus on one thing, the periphery of your eyes were like, no, over there, over there, over there.
So
your eyes are constantly peeled around trying to look at everything that's going on.
So you're telling me that this is ADD, the game?
Oh my gosh! Like when I was watching the trailer, I was like, "Ooh, that's pretty! Ooh, that's pretty! Oh my god! Look, I can't see it. He already turned around." And I just wanted to be able to turn around and look, vacuum it up slowly with my eyes, but I couldn't because they, even as slow as they were moving in terms of gameplay, I didn't even have enough time to look at that.
Yeah. Ratchet and Clank has always been a fast game. If you're not
yeah,
on your toes.
I know that. That's why I was watching the trailer intently, okay, I want to see that, I want to see that, and okay, he's already gone.
Yeah.
It's also, in my mind, it's one of the games that makes so far the best case for next gen right now, and I say that because I've played Ratchet and Clank since the beginning.
Yeah.
And I have, and so while I haven't played those specific games in a long, long time, I still kind of generally recall what the city, because traditionally most if not all, of Ratchet and Clank games actually start in the city.
Oh.
And so, like, I can remember what those games look like, and comparing it to what we see with this demo and the gameplay looks phenomenal. Like,
Yeah, it
the
really
the
does.
and the jump from the PS4 version to the current version is like the level of fidelity is there enough that my terrible eyes can recognize it through through just like a YouTube presentation instead of me playing it on my gorgeous TV, because I'm just playing these things on my laptop, and really should be looking at them on my TV, but I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah,
why.
you totally should. You can crank
Hmm.
that thing up to 4K. Your eyes are gonna bleed from the saturation. It's perfect.
I know.
Bleed with
That's what it's
joy.
there
There'll be
for.
tears of bloody joy.
Bloody joy.
But I'm really excited. So
Yeah, me too. Me too. Oh,
Mm.
I even liked um that whole like fancifully campy dialogue that they had with all of the characters and like the people that he
mm-hmm.
ran into, and even like the guys that would say things like my hero as he almost got like annihilated by a sand shark.
Yeah, I did remember that. The guy clutching for dear life.
Yeah, stuff like that. It just makes me happy because that's the way Ratchet and Clank has always been. And
It's the staple.
between PS2 and PS3, they kind of dropped off with that kind of writing. I'm not entirely sure why, but they did. And it's good to see that it's back.
Yeah, it's a nice familiar game. I'm waiting for Mr. Zarkon.
Yeah.
Um, he's my favorite weapon in the game, and all of the although the new topiary gun is pretty
Yeah.
dang sweet.
I'm gonna have a lot of fun turning bad guys into topiary uh
Statues,
bushes,
bushes.
statues. Either one, it'll work.
Hmm? But yeah, I'm excited about that, and it just again made me sit there and say, Sony, just tell me how much this thing costs and let me pre-order, because it's like,
Yeah, really.
you know, literally two months and 2 weeks away.
Mm.
It really is, isn't it? It's
Hmm.
Oh
close.
wow, time flies.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So Arcadius, are you gonna be playing Ratchet and Clank with us?
Heck yeah, that game looks
Cause,
awesome. I,
Yeah.
cause,
I actually played a few of the. I mean, I didn't play them all the way through, but I played what I'd call a healthy amount of some of the older Ratchet and Clanks, and I
uh-huh.
really liked them. But that was during the time period when I didn't own a game system, and
Mm.
by the time I did buy the PS3, the Ratchet and Clank stuff had kind of like already occurred
Yeah,
because it was mostly PlayStation 2 type stuff. I think
yeah.
maybe 1. Did the first one come out on PlayStation 1?
No, the first one was
Okay.
PS2, early PS2.
Yeah, so that was mostly PS2, and I think by the time that I had come around and got into the consoles, there were other stuff I was playing, and then we were on the 360 for a while instead of PlayStation,
Mm,
so I kind of like missed over the arc of the Ratchet and Clank stuff, but I still really liked it a lot. And so this one I will definitely pick up.
that's good. That's good. I'm glad. Makes me happy.
Because I do remember a lot of the quippy one-liners in there. I like that kind of writing, and they had a lot of that. So
Yeah. It's great for that kind of thing. You know what
I'm a,
else
I'm a
makes me
fan of
happy
that.
though? Strangely, weirdly, out of left field, is Atomic Heart. Did you guys see that?
Yeah. Yeah, I watched
That's
that one. I
weird.
was
I have to just
impressed.
say it looks weird, and there's nothing else I can say besides that.
Yeah. Um,
I don't think it's my kind of game, but that's just me.
I found it weird that it was so incredibly Russian. Like there were no subtitles and it was all in Russian,
Hmm.
and it reminded me so much of this lovely underrated gem known as Prey that I that it just filled me up with that creepy happiness that Prey likes to fill me up with. It was beautiful to see.
I thought that the game. I was really glad that all of it was basically gameplay. So like you can kind of really get to see what you're getting into. Graphically, it looked really amazing and like something I hadn't really seen before, as far as like some of the enemy designs and what you could do with your little spirit fingers. I'm just kidding. I know what those were. He was like hacking into the different things, but the way that they came out, they kind of looked like spirit fingers to me.
Yeah, killing bell sprouts.
Yes.
When Bellsprout has a bad day.
Yeah, and so I think when I was watching everything go down, I was kind of thinking to myself, man, kind of wish this was in third person because I'd be a little bit more inclined.
You like your third person stuff, don't you?
Yeah, we're gonna get into that when we talk about Cyberpunk some more, but
Yeah. Cyberpunk didn't really have a showing here. Gamescom.
no, but I just knew we were gonna end up talking about it.
Well, you brought it up. Is there anything that you wanted to say about it?
No, just that I kind of wish that it had a third person view option, because what's the point of me getting all gussied up if I don't get a chance to see myself?
Yeah, that's true. That's true, I suppose.
Why do you have a dick slider if I can't see no dicks?
I mean, what if you look down
That
and
you know of.
and can see your
That I know
impossibly
of.
large
Yeah.
elephant dong?
Oh God.
I put it in those terms because they're buzzworthy, but I'm just really curious how that's going to work. And so
Needs
when I
its
saw
own
this,
pant leg.
but when I saw Awakening, not Awakening, Lord, Atomic Heart, I was like, oh
Mhm.
yeah.
Did you wanna talk about Awakening or Unknown 9, or I think that's the real name of it, since you brought it up?
Yeah, Unknown 9 Awakening. I actually not based based on the ambiguity of the trailer that they presented us. I actually went out and did a little bit of research on the game,
Oh, good.
and I was now I'm curious. The trailer itself didn't make me curious. I just really wanted to know what this game was supposed to be about.
hmm
So if you
My
yes.
only exposure to it was the trailer that we saw. I have no idea what it is past that, so it's going to
Yes.
be interesting to hear.
Yeah, so when I first saw the name on our pre-production list, I was like, is that the game with the girl and the spaceship and all that kind of stuff? Whose name I really don't remember right now. And it turns out that's not the case. But I went to handy dandy IGN.com, and they said that Unknown Nine Awakening is a third-person, narrative-driven action-adventure game set in a new transmedia Unknown Nine universe, which is being built by game developers with a AAA background for PC and next-gen consoles. So when I saw that term transmedia, I was like, what the hell is that? So, of course, I kept on reading.
Yeah.
And so it's being created by Montreal-based Reflector Entertainment. And the plan is for Unknown Nine to encompass books, comics, podcasts, and game, all set within a universe based on the real world, but built around historical mythology and conspiracy theories and filled with shadowy organizations trying to cover or protect dangerous blah, 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 blah. But basically, this IP is set to immediately deploy across all media types, with this game being the genesis, which I think is really interesting because, to my knowledge, most games don't start with that strategy. It just happens to, they find that there are enough people out there who like the lore or like the background, but they're looking for a real narrative story, and so they develop a book, like the Halo series or the Assassin's Creed series. Or they really like the character designs and they really enjoyed like the short character intros that they give you. So they'll, like with Overwatch, they provided a couple of short stories that were actually pretty well written, and some comics to tie in with some of the events and character introductions that they gave. But again, to my knowledge, it's never actually been done with the thought of it on the forefront, which I think is really interesting. And I dig it on that respect. I'm going to just be paying attention to this group to see
Yeah.
what they actually do.
As I remember it, there are a couple of other people that did that. Um, so when The Matrix came out, the Wachowski brothers, who made The Matrix, in case anybody needs a refresher, wanted it
Sisters.
wanted it to be a transmedia kind of
Experience.
story. So they
Mhm.
had many video games, they had an MMO, and they had the Matrix movies, and they also had comics, I believe, that were all canon. And they even feed into this latest Matrix movie that's being produced right now. As a matter of fact, that's why Morpheus is not going to be in this Matrix. It's because he died in the MMO in 2005.
Oh, I did not know this.
Yeah.
Mm.
There's been other attempts, only not nearly as successful. I know Sci-Fi tried to make a show out of the events in an MMO concurrently. Um, in
Oh,
the
that was the Defiant or something like that. Was
Yeah,
that?
something like that, and it turned out to kind of be floppish, and no one was really on board for it. Um, but it's an interesting take, and I think the more that people actually go and do that and try that, we're gonna get closer and closer to success. And really, that's how life works, you know? You fail until you succeed.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Zack Snyder.
Oh, man.
But yeah, so it sounds really interesting. The trailer itself, it was, like I said before, pretty ambiguous, but I'll be keeping an eye on it. What did you guys think?
I'll have to see more. I'm intrigued, but I don't know how far that intrigue will take me. There are other things that are coming out that are demanding my attention right now. Uh, Cyberpunk, Godfall.
I knew
Uh,
we mentioned it before I said it. I mean, after I said it.
well, I put it in the tags. I'm gonna have to talk about it,
It is what
Mm-hmm.
it is.
Yeah, it is. It's an eyeball grabber.
Yoink.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my take on it for right now.
All right, what's next?
Do you want to talk about Godfall?
Let's talk about Godfall.
Bug snacks.
Oh God,
Bug
don't.
snacks.
I listened to that song the other day.
Isn't it a great song?
It's all right.
I mean, it's catchy.
Yeah, I'm
And that's,
honestly not in the largest music mood right now, but anyway, Godfall. uh Vast tipped us off to an IGN interview by a dude uh who I don't know, interviewing a Godfall dev whom I don't know, and I think I'm gonna leave the floor to Vast, seeing as how she discovered it.
yeah. So the IGN interview, basically, it was with a very nervous dev and an interviewer, and they kind of went over, in very, very generalized, broad terms, but using jargon of the game that we are not familiar with yet. Try to explain the differences in the Valor plates. Is that what we're
Hmm.
referring to them to?
Those
The
armor
Valor,
sets.
yeah, the armor sets, which they're calling Valor plates, and the way that you may be able to use passives, the special characteristics of each of the armor, how you would be able to upgrade or customize builds for the different Valor plates, and just kind of let us know like that's where a lot of your progression would go. But because we haven't actually seen any of these details in game, and by details I mean we haven't seen menu screens yet. We haven't
Yeah.
seen,
Yeah, only a little
so,
swish swish swang, and that's been about it.
and that's about it. And so they use the term constellations to describe, like how how you'd visually see or organize the information on the screen. And that sounded really cool, but at the same time, I was like, what is it? What does this mean? You can build your constellation. What does this mean? Um, on the other hand, they showed off some of the new Valor plates and they named them, which is kind of interesting because they didn't name the Valor plates that we've seen the most right now. But they showed Typhon,
Did they show?
Mesa,
Yeah, Mesa. That's the one I was thinking of.
and what was the last one?
What was the one that that was a moth? That was straight up a moth.
Yeah, I
It
don't
might have
remember.
just been a little on the fuzzy side.
He was kind of on the fuzzy side. You saw it, right?
Yeah, he was fuzzy. I don't know if it was like straight up moth, but
Oh, dude.
fuzzy.
It had the antenna.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean it very very moth-like.
Ugh. Oh man, I've forgotten what his name is. Zephyr?
Yeah, just give me 1 second. I'm looking at it right now.
Okay.
I'm looking for it, rather.
But along with this
Oh,
interview,
I was gonna say I don't have the name of that one, but before this interview, they also released the Valor Plate Hinterclaw.
yes.
If you guys want to talk about that one while I look up the other name.
Well, and that's the Wolfie one, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I'm having a bit of, I don't know, brain mix-up or something like that because they only dropped the name of the first Valor plate that you're going to have, and it's called Silvermane.
Oh, when
And
did they do that?
they did that in the interview that you linked us
Oh,
to.
I honestly missed it. Sorry.
Oh, that's all right. And that sounds like a perfect name for a wolf-themed Valor plate. But we already know that Hinterclaw is the wolf Valor plate. So I don't really
See. I
know
thought
which
that
way
was
to
a
jump.
lion. I thought that was a lion. The
Which
one
one?
that you.
Hinterclaw?
No. The one that we already have.
It
There's
did
the
look
lion.
lion-like. It didn't look
Oh,
like a wolf.
okay. All
Yeah.
right. All right. Then it was just my brain mix-up.
When I first saw it, my brain registered lion.
Okay. All right. Disregard what I have to say, ladies and gentlemen. I have been wrong before.
Well, I can't find this name in a timely fashion, so we can just skip forward. But what did you think about the designs and some of the abilities that they seem to have?
Um, honestly, if you want my candid opinion on this, it feels to me like a launch title for the PlayStation 5. I don't really expect it to have that large of a lifespan other than the launch window of the PlayStation 5. And I'm still
The
gonna play it.
Kickstarter, if you will. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still gonna play it because at that point we will be starved for games. But I don't.
And it's gonna be fresh.
Yeah, and I don't really anticipate it living that long, unfortunately. What about y'all?
I don't know if they've really shown enough to make a life longevity opinion on it, just to me. I think there's a lot more that could happen, but we just won't know until we get the game.
Yeah.
It's Vertigo, guys.
Okay.
Vertigo was the moth. Yeah.
Moth.
Vertigo?
That doesn't
Yeah.
really sound like a mothy name.
But it
No,
does
and
sound like a fly high in your face name.
Yeah.
maybe. But the other thing that was kind of not to be just nitpicking the naming conventions here, but the character Mesa,
Uh-huh.
they mentioned had a poison aspect to her character.
Oh, they
And
did? Okay.
yeah, where if you poison, I don't remember how so I remember from the video she has like a attack where like 3 pillars either rise up or fall down from the sky. I honestly forget which one, and they kind of like electrocute an area. But she can also poison enemies, like a single target. If the target dies before the poison dot ends, it'll jump to another enemy.
Okay.
Hmm.
And I was like, but how does that relate to Mesa?
Yeah, I don't know.
So in your mind, the entire time you're just like, but why?
Yes. But I'm happy to see the attempts so far to let you customize your playstyle through these Valor plates, and that they're trying to offer something different with them alongside of the combat. But to me, it doesn't look like it looks like the weapons combat is the main focus, as opposed to the powers of your Valor plate, which I think I'm down for.
Okay, cool. We'll just have to see when it comes out. It's a game that all 3 of us are going to be playing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's
Because like you
3-player
mentioned, game
co-op.
starvation.
3-player co-op.
And game starvation, yeah. So what's next on our list, Listmaster?
Next on the list is Star Wars Squadrons.
Not interested.
Why, though?
Immediate and decisive.
Yeah.
My decisiveness comes from the fact that it looks precisely like its entire existence is not out of interest or to advance another storyline within Star Wars canon or to have a new twist and a new viewpoint. It's more of a, boy, our quarterly earnings are down. Anybody got any ideas? How about a fighter squadron? Sure, yeah. Get a little team together. We'll get a budget going, and go ahead and get working on that. Like, that's it. That's the only reason it exists, because somebody in a boardroom meeting said, I want more money. They said, well, we can make just like, take this little piece and say, hey, let's make a fighter squadron, and like throw together a loosey-goosey plot that might justify us releasing the game. And they go, sure. And that's it. That's the only reason it exists. There's nothing interesting about it. And that's all there is to it.
Well, we've got a question in the chat from Bryson Tidman. Did any of us play Rogue Squadron?
Now, some of the original... Oh, my gosh. Wait, you said Bryson?
Bryson Tidman?
Okay, that's my coworker.
Oh, okay.
Well, welcome, Bryson, since I'm not looking at the screen chat right now.
Yes, welcome.
Okay, so the original Squadron is... Oh, gosh, am I thinking...
I played
of the
Star Wars
GameCube
Starfighter.
What is the one that was for either N64 or GameCube? One of those first ones. That one was fun. This one, I don't know.
Bryson says
Nothing.
ex-coworker.
X. Oh, yes, this is true. I can actually say that now.
I think the one for the GameCube is Star Wars Rogue Leader.
Okay.
That is the one I remember playing.
Was it any good?
And I remember that one being fun. But I think at the time I was quite a bit younger and could absolutely not have cared less about anything gripping. I was just like, ooh, boy, I get to fly around and shoot pew-pews, and that was it.
Yeah. It
That's
was
exactly
a
what I remember
time.
from that game. Yes, 'twas a simpler time.
Well, I think that the all right, so correct. I could just be off in the speculation zone here, because you know that's what I like to do.
Yep.
But isn't the Starfighter part of the recent Battlefront game done by a studio separate from DICE?
I don't
remember
know
that one. But that one wasn't enjoyable to me, so maybe that's why I don't like the look of the new one.
Well,
So
go
I mean,
ahead,
I can easily look this up. I can easily look this up in a second. But before I do, I just want to say I think that might be one of the drives for that. That it was started by a separate studio, and so they were like, "Well, we have this frame you
Mhm.
know,
Yeah, the
ready to
skeleton
go.
exists. Might as well use it to make money.
Well, to make money and also to show Disney that we are still a good shepherd of this IP. Because remember, we've talked about
Yeah,
this before. That
Yeah.
I was gonna bring
I'm
that
sh-
up.
like EA has certainly made some money from their Battlefront games, but they haven't released a um, well, they haven't delivered all the games that have been promised. Um, that to Disney at this point. Like they shelved the like open. Oh gosh, not mid the open world, but like the more narrative driven story that they were going for.
Yeah, I think
Um,
that was called Project Ragtag, and they
mm,
shelved it.
mm-hmm. And they flubbed to me pretty hard on the first Battlefront. Like it was enjoyable, but it should have been a better game.
Yeah.
And they like massively shot themselves in the foot with Battlefront 2. And so
The gun
the
wasn't big enough. We need a bigger caliber.
so
9 mil, give me that 45.
yes,
No, no,
and
no.
so
40 Smith and Wesson. Just take the
Pow!
whole foot off.
Okay,
just take
kaboom!
it all off.
Yeah, the whole
And,
foot.
and so they've probably have not had the returns that they promised Disney.
Yeah.
Because if you're looking at we make billions of dollars off of FIFA. Look at what we could do for you and your incredibly popular IP Star Wars, Disney, and then have to go to Disney and say, well, we only made, like 300 million, which is a lot of money, but it's probably, I
It's
sincerely
it's
doubt
not
what
In the
Disney
boardroom,
money.
it's laughable.
yeah, it's not Disney money. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
we don't know those
Like,
totals, but I
You're not in
like,
the realm of buku bucks. You're just
like,
like small time.
It's money, but it's not business. You know what I mean?
Business. That we call Disney business.
Business.
business. Yeah, and so that's what I think that this is. It's an attempt to make cash, but make cash with the purpose. Like and hopefully it's a good player experience, with a low like overhead cost because they already had the dev tools in place to build out this game.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
here's my take on it. And it's kind of a depressing one, so I hope you have,
You don't
Valium
say.
or something laying around that you can pop. This is a game that they are making, one, to show that EA is doing something with the Star Wars license agreement. And as an attempt, it's like putting your toe in the water of seeing if they are able to make money from games that don't have microtransactions. But they intentionally chose a game that is stunted because they don't want it to work.
I totally see EA pulling something like this. This
They
is
I
right
totally
up
get what you
their
mean.
shenanigan alley.
they cobbled together assets from DICE games that they already had, gave it to a team that could pretty much work within the bounds of those assets that they've already had. Like
And could probably be the intern group for
they
all
were
we know.
like a DICE satellite group, they've outsourced this kind of stuff to them before or something like that. And
Mhm.
they said, okay, make a Star Wars game. We don't care about the story. We have ulterior motives for how this is going to work.
But it didn't tell them. They're just like, thanks, we'll do it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, we're employed? Oh, boy.
Yeah.
So they are intentionally trying to sink this game before it comes out by making it a short scope game so that they can point to it and say, we didn't make money with this thing that you guys wanted.
We still need
So
microtransactions.
we're going back to the method where we know
No.
it'll work because we made money that way.
I could
No.
absolutely see them doing this. No, that has corporate EA grin written all friggin' over it.
Oh no,
All
that's
over
not
it.
that's not what I was about to disagree with because I can see that too. No, I was about to say no, but it's as Bryson like reminded us, it's got a $40 price tag too, so it's a deflated
Correct.
price.
Intentionally.
However, intentionally. However, it's what I've been saying about Star Wars anyway. If you put together more than decent, but a decent game with the Star Wars brand, you're gonna recoup that money. Like, you just are. The problem that they've been having is because the problem that they had with the other games, Battlefront. I think that what is the not Force Awakens? What is that game called that just recently came out?
The one that isn't Force Awakens?
I thought
That
that
had
was one of the latest
oh,
ones.
was
that
it
came out.
Force Awakens?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Were
was one of
you
the latest
thinking
ones
of
that
The
came
Force
out.
Unleashed before?
Yeah, The Force
Yeah.
Unleashed.
Okay.
Whichever one the guy who played the Joker starred in.
Yeah, that's The Force Awakens.
Oh wow, I can't believe I got that right. I think that one sold pretty well, but if Rogue Squadron isn't a flaming turd, it's going to sell well.
Just because it has the Star Wars name on it?
Just because it has a Star Wars
People
name
will
on
buy
it,
it.
and because people have been wanting a Star Wars space battle game since the GameCube days. Like,
That's
it's been a long
true.
time since we had one.
That's true.
If it is decent, it will sell well. It really will.
I can see that happening. Also, are they planning on releasing this during, like, the holiday season? Is that their window?
I think it's supposed to be sometime soon, right?
Okay.
It's this year. It's coming out, but let me check that.
Okay. Because
I'd put the game selection kind of on the low side right now, so that now would be an ideal time to release it.
also, it might be able to capture some of those holiday sales of the grandmas in Walmart walking by and saying, "Oh, a Star Wars game. My grandson Jimathan has has a PlayStation Wii. I'll get it for them."
That's PlayStation Wii.
You know, like that kind of thing.
So
Oh,
this
God.
Star Wars Squadrons is dropping October 2nd, which gives them about a month before new console release, and
Okay.
a drop to like $20 around holidays.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying there?
Yeah. Yeah. So what do y'all think of that?
I concur with your angles and viewpoints, and I'm really hoping that scummy EA has not done this with the intention of it failing, so they can justify going back to microtransactions.
It's
That thought
entirely
now
possible.
terrifies me. Like that.
It's entirely
that just-
possible.
It irritates me and terrifies me at the same time. I hope to God that's not what is going on.
I don't want it to be that way. I just know EA.
Yeah, I do too. I just don't know how they could claim that they didn't make money. Like,
No, it's not make money, not make enough
Yeah.
money
Yeah.
by their standard of, the hundreds of millions and all that.
Yeah.
well, yeah. I mean, they wouldn't make FIFA money. But as far as I am aware,
They'll
no,
never make FIFA
no
money with
game.
anything other than FIFA.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. As far as I'm aware, there's no game that they can put out there right now that would make them FIFA-like money.
Well, they might get close if they put out a Battlefield that worked.
I don't know, man. Like, there's Battlefield, and Battlefield doesn't rake in as much money as Call of Duty does. And
Well,
then
not
there's
some of these
FIFA.
last ones for sure.
All right.
The last two Battlefields in a row have been
That's
broke
like-
as hell.
When you're talking about anything else in the video game world versus FIFA, it's like Pepsi
Yeah,
versus
it
Coke.
is a whole different archetype of people that play video
Yeah.
games.
Yeah.
And it's a whole other. I mean, I was going to jump on that, but I don't quite remember what I was going to say. Maybe I should have ate before we started.
So, shall we move on and lift our spirits a little bit? Or do you want to, commit some war crimes with Ronald Reagan and Call of Duty?
Oh my
That's
gosh.
so weird. Like, Call of Duty's done some, they have done, all video games have some sort of science fiction based off of normal or past historical events that have occured.
And
but-
figures.
and figures and all things above, but taking Ronald Reagan and turning him into like a sort of undercover syndicate mentality boss kind of guy is off-putting to me. That's the only way I can describe that. Like, I know that's done in a lot of other characters and stuff, but maybe it's just our own history that they're messing with a little just to spice it up, but
you take offense to this just because it's Ronald Reagan?
no, not necessarily. I can't articulate all the reasons why. It just seems I think it veers far enough off the historical to make it feel awkward of what we know.
Well, so that's the entire point of like their conspiracy, right?
I think it is.
It's just close enough for it to be plausible. And the only reason
especially during the Vietnam era and all the Cold War era and all that.
The only reason why it would make you uncomfortable is because it is just close enough to
I'm gonna die.
reality.
I just don't know why they didn't invent a president in the same way that like they invented a character that kind of looks like Bruce Willis, and they invented a character that kind of looks like Robert Redford. Why did they actually go with Ronald Reagan
like
here?
Full historical figure as opposed to like pseudo historical figure?
Yeah, it just
like
feels
some
really...
just random dude they just called Mr. President, and you're like, oh, okay, he's the president, you know?
Yeah. Some bald white dude.
Yeah.
President Jimathan.
God dang it, dude! What the frick?
I think that they decided to use Ronald Reagan's face to push the tech. Like, Ronald Reagan is such a recognizable face. Let's see if we can do that in our engine. Here's our representation of what Ronald Reagan looks like. And people will point at it and go, that looks like Ronald Reagan. And their mission has succeeded.
I don't know, man. I feel
Still
like
seems
that's
a little far for that one.
I don't know. I feel like they should have not done that. In the same way, I wouldn't. Have they rendered like a Teddy Roosevelt or Woodrow Wilson in any of their other games?
I don't know.
No.
I just don't think I feel comfortable with them pushing this kind of narrative.
With that historical past figure of actual likeness and name?
Yes. In this context, because we do know that Reagan did, how much knowledge he had of the Iran-Contra affair, blah, 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 blah. But we do know that he was in on some relatively, for all the good he may have done, he was also, because he's president, also in on some pretty hinky stuff.
Yeah.
And to use him in this context, it kind of feels like a revisionist history in a way that I'm not comfortable with in today's
I think that's
climate.
the wording I was looking for.
Yeah.
Revisionist history, especially given the ongoings of current events, it just is poor timing to me. Mm-hmm. Even without the timing, the revisionist history part of it is, I think that to me is what's off-putting.
Yeah. And I know that Reagan can be a polarizing figure. I don't think he's as polarizing as, say...
not pseudo-mob boss.
Yeah. But I do, like I said, I do feel like it's just a little weird that they decided to put
I don't have a helmet.
Reagan in the game instead of a generic president.
Yeah.
Because they did it with the other characters, and you can't tell me that the one guy that you end up talking to, whose name I can't remember right now, he looks just like a Robert Redford. Well, they couldn't give you like a similar Reagan, just make him bald. I don't know.
You can't make President Kevin Spacey anymore.
They done butchered his rear end.
Okay, yeah, but look, you can't make a President Spacey. Why?
Because he's a horrible person?
Yes! And I'm not saying that Reagan was, although but I'm just saying, it's just weird. It's just weird. Who sat in the boardroom and said, you know what this game needs? Ronald Reagan.
Yeah.
It's just weird to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Have we ranted enough? Should we move on?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cod
let's
is
rant.
cod.
Arcadius, this way.
Enough is that. Where
Arcadius,
are we
come this
going
way
this
right
way?
quick. Because.
Okay.
What do we want to talk about next?
Let's do something super light before we move into some of these other trailers that were kind of really intriguing but heavy.
Okay.
Monster Hunter Iceborne Fatalis.
All right. This is squarely in your wheelhouse, Fast.
Take it
Yes, but
away.
did you guys watch it?
I did.
Okay, so this past week, well, it's not even in conjunction, but the Monster Hunter World developers did their final update dev stream, or they shift the majority of their resources into whatever new Monster Hunter game is going to be coming for next gen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about Fatalis other than he appeared in maybe the first Monster Hunter game. He's a super big bad dude, and he's one of the fabled black dragons, and it's supposed to be a pretty awesome fight. They also are introducing, which I thought was one of the things that I've really enjoyed with Monster Hunter Iceborne Worlds is that some of the characters that they've had in the previous games, like the fleet captain, the third fleet captain, and the second fleet captains, and all those people,
Mm-hmm.
you get to interact with them a little bit more. And so even if it's like not a full like story with them guiding you, you do get to move around like the map with them a little bit and get to talk to them some more. So they're introducing another character like that in this update, the general.
Cool.
And they're going to give us some more backstory to the excitable A-lister.
I have no idea who that is.
He's at the very beginning of the game when you first wake up on the ship. He's the guy with the serious handler who talks to you at the very beginning of the game.
Okay.
So yeah, and in that dev, they release some more information, like they're going to bring Arc-Tempered Valkana, which is the first big monster threat that you engage in Monster Hunter Iceborne. And then they're going to have a new Halloween event, new costumes. So yeah, it's exciting. It's coming in October, and once again, Capcom, like Square Enix, is just showing me that you can support a game in a way that benefits the players without sacrificing the players' needs to make money.
Yeah.
Like, you can do it.
Yes.
Totally.
It's entirely possible, and I just don't know why people can't get it together over here.
Because they want their money now. They want to be rich right now.
Listen,
But you have to deliver a good product. Give them a good product, and people will give you money to
But
support it. It's
fast.
not
They
that
want
hard.
their money right now.
Everybody's seen the
It's my
JG
money, and I hand it
Wentworth. Yeah, everybody's seen that.
Oh, man. All right, next on the list, Doom Ancient Gods DLC.
I need to get Doom.
It looks like Doom.
Yeah.
I don't really
Doom
have a whole
is
lot
what
to say.
Doom is.
I haven't played updated Doom like at all. It's one of those games
Neither have
that's
I.
just missed.
One of my friends got it, and it looks really good.
Yeah.
And he was like, make sure you get a monitor and graphic. Excuse me. He had it on PC, so he's like, make sure you get a monitor and graphics card that keeps up, and it'll just be gorgeous the whole time you're playing it.
Yeah. I don't know about it. Looks cool.
Yeah, it looks cool. I am not that familiar with the Doom franchise, but I really like the sense of scale that they have with like the huge monsters like lifting up the plate that you're standing on and like tossing it somewhere and all that kind of stuff. It looked cool.
Yeah.
The weapons looked cool. So, Doom on, my friends, I guess.
What are y'all feeling about that Ghostbuster beam that the Doom guy breaks out
Don't cross the streams.
partway through?
Trying to remember it.
Because it seems like some spirit possessed a demon. You kill the demon, and he goes to another host, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you like break out this Ghostbuster beam.
Oh yeah, no, it
I just
totally
picture
looked
him
like
saying,
that.
"Get over here."
Like, I'm
Yeah,
not
What if they
I
have
saying
a?
they're
was.
Do you think
setting
they have a
up
Ghostbuster
for.
Easter egg in there?
I'm not saying they're setting up for a Ghostbuster crossover or anything, but
You never
If
know.
you never know these days,
yeah,
it could be. It
yeah.
could be.
Even if there's no crossover, if they just have one little Easter egg in there, that'll be good enough for everybody who plays the
Yeah.
game.
Oh my God, they did Ghostbusters!
This button on the console has the Ghostbusters symbol on it.
Oh man. Oh man. Fun times, you
Mm-hmm.
guys. Fun times.
hmm
Indeed.
Let's shake this up a little bit and go to Fall Guys Season 2.
Oh, Fall Guys. I mean, Fall Guys is what Fall Guys is. Now you
Yeah.
get to be, what, a knight is what they're theming it this time around. So
Yeah.
there'll be
hmm
dragons, witches, magicians, and that's Fall Guys.
Well, I
So,
thought it was cool that they were introducing new maps.
yeah, definitely.
Well, yeah, you
Or
can't have the same stagnant maps. People get bored.
Yeah, it's true.
they
Uh,
called them something specific, but I don't play that game enough to know what they are.
yeah. I have a small confession about
You
Oh,
love this
Fall
game.
geez.
Guys. I don't really like the game, but I am disappointed that did not get I did not play it enough to get
The full pigeon?
the hot dog upper
Oh.
so that I can sit around in the menu and look at you two and go, it smells like up dog in here all the time.
No. I'm glad we nixed that one. I'm glad we nixed that one in the bud.
Yeah, you dodged a bullet that you didn't know was whizzing by.
No, we did not know.
The best kind of dodge.
The best kind of dodge.
It's funny though, and you can't tell me otherwise.
Yeah. The stats on that game is kind of still unreal.
Yeah, I'm glad they found
They're-
success.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not upset
Well,
at it. I'm just.
especially after they were review bombed after their servers crashed, one of the dumbest reasons to possibly review bomb a game.
Yeah. I don't really have a whole lot to say. It's just they talked about season 2, and it's soon.
Yep, it's coming. How about we move out of the specific Gamescom, although I'm sure that they made an appearance, I just don't know, and talk about the games that they announced at the DC Fandom this past the week before last.
Sure.
DC.
That happened in the same time frame. We haven't podcasted since they did that, I don't believe.
Hmm? Well, I am someone who's excited about it. They showed the new spiritual successor to the Batman Arkham franchise in Gotham Knights,
Hmm.
which is being produced by this WB Montreal.
Rocksteady? No, they're doing the Suicide Squad one.
Yeah, and then Rocksteady is doing the Suicide Squad kills the Injustice League. That's probably not the correct title, but it's pretty close.
It's close enough.
The Injustice League.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of that trailer, Superman fries a dude and then looks right at the squad. So
That's very Injustice-like.
yeah,
Yeah, so I'm honestly wondering if that's going to be some kind of weird crossover between Injustice First, or if they're going to like full out say that these are the Justice Lords from like the cartoon series.
give us some DC lore, Vast.
Don't, because I'll be on it all day long.
Glasses push up.
Yeah. Ding, anime ding.
Yeah.
But
glint.
yes, but I like the trailer that they had for the Suicide Squad game.
Yeah.
Or it didn't have gameplay, but I think it really established, the characters that you're gonna see,
Hmm.
and
the
set the
themes.
tone.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the
yeah.
thing.
It seemed very, to me, it seemed very Sunset Overdrive, and that is a game that I never played that I always wanted to.
So does that make you want to play this one?
No, it makes me want to go play Sunset Overdrive.
Well, I will try and get these guys to play it because, again, we're starving for co-op
We are.
Good
games.
co-op.
Yeah. As far as I know, though, Arkham Knights is only 2-player.
Yes, so that is something that felt really weird to me because the Arkham Knights game um, features 4 playable characters: Batgirl, Barbara Gordon, Tim Drake, Robin, Red Hood, Jason Todd, and um, Dick Grayson, Nightwing. But they're only going to have 2-player co-op at this time. And so
Yeah.
I'm sitting here wondering, like, why only 2 when you literally have 4 players there? And so I'm wondering, like, are they going to eventually give us a 4-player like access? I just don't understand the reasoning for it. I'm really confused. I'm trying to jump through hoops because I
Well,
would prefer to play with more than one other person in this game if I could.
we played the Marvel Avengers beta,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that was up to 4-player co-op, I do believe. But
It is.
um, they also have a roster that is larger than their play cap. Do you think that's different in any way than what DC is doing with Arkham Knights?
Like they're just waiting to have a larger player selection before they open it up.
No, I don't know. I would think that it comes down to scaling and level design, and maybe this is just again me suppositions speculating. I don't know where I was going with that sentence. No game development knowledge whatsoever. Although I did help build a game this year, I'm super excited.
Yeah.
Um,
And
that
we
maybe
tested it.
yes, alpha testers.
Yeah.
That maybe they were building on some of the architecture that Rocksteady had in place, so they weren't building like engine up from scratch, and so maybe that dictates the type of engagements that they were creating, and it's easier to just add one person on than for 4, because then you would have to completely redo some of the like linear maps that you have. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it does.
Boils down to level design.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I will say that they have not ruled out adding additional characters to the game.
Was that a question that was asked of them?
Yes, but mainly through Twitter. So of course it's through Twitter. So it's a lot of being nice and kind and engaging with the fans as opposed to like breaking their hearts. But a lot of people have, as many people who has expressed disappointment with this Arkham game not being a Batman game and not wanting to play as members of the extended Bat family. There have been a whole host of people who are super excited for it because, you may really enjoy Batman, but you could love the extended universe just as much and you want to play as those characters. And so they've been sending in like, can we play as Batwing? Is Black Bat, who is Cassandra Cain, who's now orphan? I don't even know. Understand. Is she going to be part of this? Is Kate Kane Batwoman going to be part of this? There's like a pretty large, addition of cast that they can add into the game. And I think that maybe to Jason's point, if they were able to add more of those people, or maybe even if they had like all right, so this is another step back. I'm going all over the place. I'm so excited. I love Batman so much. But one of the things I was thinking about with the Marvel Avengers game is because they do have a cast of like 6 characters, and they are trying to figure out ways to do this like live service. I was wondering if in the game, after like the first month or the first 6 weeks, they would announce something like a raid
Where you could be
have
all the characters?
Yeah, so you could have like a 6-man team
Oof.
fighting like Galactus or Thanos or something like that, you know?
For Marvel.
For the Marvel game. Do you think that's...
Maybe. I think that's even ambitious for what their beta appeared to be.
Yeah.
Look.
I mean, I'd
Yeah.
love for them to do it.
Mhm.
I'd love for them
I
to
think it'd
find
be cool.
success, but
But could they do it? Do they have the architecture in place? Is that even on their roadmap? I don't know. But I was just wondering because they do have the cast and they do have the multiplayer matchmaking system in place. If there would be an option for you to have up to 6 players in a limited session, but like for a big event. So.
yeah, it'd be cool. I think.
Mhm.
I have no idea how they would do that logistically, but it's possible.
Yeah, I mean, Destiny did it.
They did do it,
Mhm.
and that was one of the highlights of that game.
Mhm. Wasn't it an 8-man raid?
No 6. But the
Well, how big
kicker-
was a fire team? Because it was 2 fire teams.
Okay, so it was 6.
Yeah, because the fire team was
I
3. For
yeah, I couldn't remember the
what is
time
it?
it was
The
for.
whatever the I forgot what the weekly events were called.
Nightfalls.
Strikes.
Strikes. That's what. Or yeah, Nightfalls.
Nightfalls. Yeah.
Nightfall was a
remember having
strike.
PTSD from the Archon Priest. So
Rectangle's
Oh my
a
God.
square.
Sitting underneath that balcony, taking toe shots.
Underneath his
Yeah.
deck,
yeah,
Yes.
for like half an hour.
like
because
raccoons.
He was trying to exterminate, and we're like,
No,
Yeah.
no. But yeah, so we'll see. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. We will
Yeah.
see.
Well, we haven't spoken all that much about Suicide Squad. Do we have anything to say about that?
You just mentioned that it looked like Sunset Overdrive. I think it's pretty cool. They set the tone. I like the cast of characters that they had:
Mhm.
King Shark, Harley Quinn, Captain Boomerang, and then not Idris Elba, whose name I can't remember right now.
Not it, like Deadshot. I'm talking about.
Was it Deadshot? Because in the movie he's not playing Deadshot. But was it Deadshot in the
I think
game?
it was
I don't remember.
Deadshot in the game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well then, yes. Let me take that back before they take my card.
Yeah,
heaven forbid you turn in your DC card.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
You're never gonna get that back. There's only a limited quantity.
Oh my
For
goodness!
life.
Yeah. What are we
One and
dancing
done.
about?
Cliff Robinson from the NBA, from the Portland Trailblazers, passed away. He was only 53.
What?
Jesus.
Wow, 2020 is not being nice to people.
No,
Mm-mm.
nobody.
And what was the? I woke up like early, or was it late? I don't even remember. It was super late last night, and I read your text of the guy who played Black Panther who passed away.
Yeah, Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah,
Mhm.
terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Wow.
Need to segue off of that.
Yeah, you wanna
Let's-
move on?
Let's move on to Dragon Age. Dragon Age 4.
They
I really want to
said.
talk to you guys about this one.
Okay. Well, what do you want to hear?
No, let's talk about it first, and then I will pose my question to you guys.
Okay. Arcadius, you got any thoughts before I go off?
Go off.
We
It's
knew it was
Dragon
coming.
Age, and I've never really played Dragon Age much, so I can't really comment a whole lot on it.
We knew it was coming. They made a video that said it was coming. We already knew that. It told us nothing.
Yeah, the link you sent us on Dragon Age was like a one-on-one with developers and how they feel about the future of the game, and it's like, so
Yeah.
so where's the gameplay? Well, the game's gonna be extraordinary. It's like, no, where's the gameplay? Like, they
Yeah.
didn't give any gameplay, so I have no formulations to make off of it, even though I don't hardly play Dragon Age.
In a way, I can totally understand them being super gun-shy about showing anything after they were
Mhm.
so transparent with Anthem and it turning out the way it did.
Well, Anthem had its own troubles that caused that whole fiasco. We've already made a whole podcast on that, so
Yeah.
Several. And we will continue to bring it up.
yeah,
Yeah?
that
will.
which could have been.
You know what? I feel like we need to do its own reaction video slash breakdown, but we're going to do it right now. I'm not even looking at it, but I do recall that one of the first things that they mention in that mea culpa, remember us as we were, not who we are, type video was them saying, in 2012 or 2015, whenever we were standing at the Video Game Awards receiving an award for Dragon Age Inquisition.
Yeah.
Yeah, Game of the Year and all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He's like,
was-
please remember that we don't suck.
Yeah,
It was
so that's what this
2014
video
or
was.
2015 because I was still in college when I played that.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So it felt like a little bit of a mea culpa. It felt like a little bit of a plea, a feel-good video for you to remember the people who are making the game and to treat them kindly. Which, I mean, I'm not upset with that kind of messaging because I think it might need to be said a little bit more often.
Yeah,
But,
probably.
the other thing that I was really confused about was like Mark Dara, his camera shots were from behind a tree, and I was like, what? Like, why are you trying
Like
to
a
film it?
creeper.
Yeah, it was kind of like someone was stalking him, and I was a little confused. I was like, is he camera shy, or is this
Well,
just like a really interesting angle? Like,
what-
what were you doing here?
What about those two people that they interviewed from underneath a bridge?
Yeah, like, what
In
are
one
you
of the
guys
sketchy
doing?
places possible, they told the
Yeah.
adjacent hobo to be quiet while they were filming.
Yeah.
It was just so weird. Oh man.
Yeah. Part of me wonders, like, did they do that because, like, COVID is still going around and they just needed a space
Did it
where
in
there's
secret?
nobody
Like, quick, we can't let anyone see us while we take our masks off.
or something? Yeah. Like, we need a space. There's people everywhere. We got under the bridge. Go, 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 go. And they filmed it for like 5 minutes and then they left.
But what they didn't show you was them going shh to the homeless guy that got startled under the bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can totally see that. But yeah, it was just like they weren't bad shots. It was just like, why is he behind a tree? It was just, it took me out of the moment for a second. Is what I'm trying to say. But they did give you a little bit of glimpse into, like, not in the gameplay, but letting you know that it is like a continuation of the Inquisition game, right?
In that they showed you Solus, and they were like, "Hey, look, it's Solus. You remember Solus, right? You like that guy. Anyway, we're nice people." And then like moved on.
Yes, and they had they had his voice actor, I believe.
Yeah.
They did something else too. They showed like is his name Dorian?
There is a character named Dorian, but I don't know that was him.
Underwater?
Dorian underwater? I don't think so.
I thought that was him underwater. Because it was a man with a beard. Not a beard, but
Well,
like
that
an
narrows it
elegant.
down.
Dorian.
Well, no, not a beard. A man with an elegant mustache.
Dorian does have a very like overproduced, super waxed mustache.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it was
He's a bit of a
Dorian.
dandy.
Yeah.
A bit of a dandy. But yeah, showing you that the characters that you enjoyed are coming back. I think I saw the bull, what is his name?
Oh dang, I don't remember his name. I wiped him from our memory when, spoiler, he betrayed you at the end for money. So
No, I thought everyone loved him.
they did love him. That's why they chose him to betray everybody. The whole
Oh no!
the whole
I
story-
didn't know that.
the whole story about him was that he was picked up as a mercenary company, and you needed men to fight this oncoming evil, right? And you built up the keep, and he supplied men for all of that. But as it turns out, he was a plant from a government, like
the government.
his
There to
government.
screw everything up again.
And he was there specifically to just gather information, and then when everything was close to over, his government said, "All right, end all of your ties, kill everyone that's ever known you." And yeah, that's kind of one of the end twists of their DLCs.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah,
Well, that makes me sad. I don't even play this game. I just know that everybody loved him, and
he's a
not
great dude.
everyone loved Solus, but he was a cool character. That kind of stuff.
Yeah, Solus. To draw an analogy, would be the guy that would draw up an edgy rogue in D&D. I
Mm.
sit in the corner and brood as I drag on my cigarette and pass glances at all of the other people that are happily drinking in the tavern,
Distasteful.
unknowing of the doom that lurks behind them. You know, that kind of thing.
Yes, that kind of thing.
Dark. Oh, good. I didn't fall in lava. Where were we? What were we doing before I
We were
bashed an
talking
entire
about.
set of D&D players?
No, we were talking about Dragon Age 4, and I think that we're kind of got to the end of it. Just really interested to see if that Bioware magic is back, or if it ever really
Oh,
went anywhere in terms of Dragon Age.
yeah.
I'm rooting for it.
It's my sincerest plea that they no longer believe in Bioware magic.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't want them to think about that anymore.
No more cop outs. Just do your job.
Yeah, really.
Well, speaking of things that we shouldn't believe in anymore, Little Nightmares 2.
It's creepy as shit, boy, and I don't want it.
Yeah, the whole puppety things and the snaky head puppety things. It's like
Yeah.
Chucky meets The Ring meets the something else.
Yeah. I mean, you can freak anybody out if you put a puppet at a piano and spin its head all the way around.
Yep.
Yeah,
And they did that in this trailer,
quintessential horror.
and it worked. I can sit here and tell you that it worked. I I am one of those people that does not have a whole lot of fears in real life other than, the documented ones that you two know. And like nothing much gets past me all that much. But when it
But
comes to video games and stuff like that, I'm a big softy. I don't like stuff like that. So no, I'm not doing anything with that. No.
so that's
Yeah,
pretty
no.
much what I thought of Atomic. What's its face? That was
Atomic
my
Heart.
reaction. Yeah.
Oh fuck! Oh, ah! I almost well, I didn't go very far. Sorry, false alarm. Almost lavaed
Yeah,
myself.
it's
Don't do that.
coming sometime soon in 2020.
For those who want to
Um,
play it.
Yeah.
for those who want to play it.
Well, it's the second one, so the first one must have done well enough to warrant a second one, right?
You would think so, but that is not necessarily the case.
Yeah, it's
And
true.
I lied to everyone. It's actually right now. It's got the release date of February 2021.
Okay. All right. Ugh.
And last on the current list is World of Warcraft Shadowlands Afterlives.
All right, so we both commented on the fact that as soon as that video started up, I was like, wait a minute, where is the breathtaking CG animation perfection that is what Blizzard loves doing? And instead we got watercolor stills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slightly animated. We'll move this plate around in front of this other
Yeah,
plate.
shuffle, shuffle, scoot, scoot.
I think it's because of
Budget
COVID.
cuts.
Budget cuts. COVID.
Yeah.
It ruins everything.
Everybody was working from home. They didn't have the tech at home to do that.
I guess.
That's what I'm going with. I don't know if that's actually true or not.
Sure, I'll buy that.
But yeah,
Although
I
remote
mean,
desktop is a thing, but sure, I'll buy that.
they God, think of the render time on that. They I don't know. It's World of Warcraft DLC. They showed off some characters that people that play the game know and should have some kind of emotional tie with. And then they did something with those characters, and I don't know because I don't play or know the lore.
Mm,
So that announcement was kind of lost on me.
same.
What about you, Vast? Know any of the stories?
Look, absolutely not. I was like, who is Uther? What is that guy with the great hair? That's not Sephiroth. Who is this lady? Why do they have wings? Well, I was like, I have no context. I was like, where's Belcon? What is even her name? Sylvaness and Vexel, or I don't even know who any one of these damn games
Wow.
are. So
Well, you
it
know
just
more than
seemed.
me.
I don't even know who this. I don't know. I literally don't know. It's not like Dragon Age where I never really played the game, but I know enough people who have played the game, so I know who Hawk is, and I know who's Vivian
Solus.
is, and Solus is, and all those kind of.
Dorian.
And I've even played WoW for like an hour with Sam. Sam, I'm gonna come back. I promise. Fingers crossed. But yeah, I don't know anything about it. So it seemed like a interesting plot line, but I was just not gripped or engaged in it at all.
Yeah. I think the same can be said for a lot of people.
Mm.
I don't really have a whole lot to say about it. That's it. Ugh.
Truth.
Yeah.
Not the biggest bang, but yeah, it's coming. So it will give WoW players things to do.
Yeah. So, have we covered all the topics? Is it time to end?
Yeah, that's it. We hit
Okay.
all of the things that we wanted to talk about, added a couple more in there, and gave some breaking news. I think that
Yeah.
we have succeeded this podcast.
All right. This has been a DerNami gaming podcast. We do this every once in a while when we feel like we have enough to talk about. We've been on kind of a roll, I think, recently in making podcasts.
Comparatively speaking, yes.
Yeah. Thanks for listening. If you liked it, subscribe. You can listen to all of our crap here. If you didn't, why are you here? And that is it for us. See y'all later.